this?
I got it. All right.
We got it.
We're at the 15.
Yep. And we're live. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Hawks International Connections Club podcast episode number 3. And today we are here with.
I'm Luke.
I'm Sydney.
And what grade level are you guys?
I'm 10th.
10th too.
Okay.
Sophomores.
Both sophomores. Awesome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Amelia, aka Ame. I'm a senior this year, so this is my last year.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. For today's topic, I was thinking maybe we can just talk about holiday traditions, specifically winter holiday traditions, since we're in that season right now, and then also introduce you guys and your personal culture and background and stuff. So, first of all, if you guys could introduce your sort of heritage and your background.
All right. My family, my entire family, my parents and my brother were all born in Egypt, Cairo, which is the capital, and we've been living here since maybe 20 years.
Wow, okay. That's a very unique heritage, I'd say, Cairo, Egypt. Do you know many other people here who share your similar heritage?
There's a few people, maybe not in the school, but you meet a few. You can hear a lot of people's accents, or every once in a while you hear Arabic coming in, like you hear someone speaking Arabic, or you see people. You see people who look, they look like they're in the same ethnicity. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
My mother's side, she is like half Irish and half Korean. She comes from Seoul, and so did my grandfather. My grandfather was born in Seoul.
Oh wow.
But he came here when he was fighting in the war.
That's tea.
Yeah, he was in the military for a good 50 years. He recently retired because he got run over by a car, but
Oh my goodness.
he's fine.
I'm so sorry.
He's very good. He's doing very well actually. He didn't break any bones actually from that. Funnily enough,
That's relieving.
Yeah.
That's very relieving.
he was on a motorcycle.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. But on that side, Seoul, Korea, and then on my other side, on my father's side, he's also Irish, but he is also Jamaican. So I have a very interesting background.
Circle.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's super mixed. Like
Yeah.
Irish, Jamaican, and Korean.
Yeah.
Wow. You got the world in you too.
Yeah, I do. That's pretty much it for me. I don't know much of like my father's side because like he isn't very much in my life,
Oh.
sadly. But my mother, we celebrate very, I'm gonna say ethnically every year.
Ethnically, I can totally relate to you guys. Like, just first off the bat, with how you were saying, like, you say that other people are also from Cairo, Egypt, or they speak Arabic, and you can tell when they
Yeah.
speak the language and
Yeah.
what sort of heritage they come from. It's similar for me too, because I can tell when people are from Southeast Asia, or
Yeah.
like my mom's side of the family, or if they speak Indonesian, or they're from a certain region. But it's very uncommon, just
Yeah.
because it's not a lot of people in the States, and specifically here, are from that region. So I have to really find those connections sometimes. And well, there is one very nice lunch lady here at this school who is from Indonesia, so I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
And then, sorry to hear about your story as well. My father, he was also rear-ended at a stoplight at 70 miles per hour by a irresponsible
sucks.
driver. But yeah, he did not break any bones. He had some herniated discs, but he's still good in here.
Still going.
Yeah, still going.
That's
So
good.
we're all still going, and that's the wonderful beauty of life. But also, back to the heritages and traditions part, you said that you celebrate some very cultural holidays. Could you
Yes.
elaborate more on that?
Mostly it's about the presents and stuff. We don't really get presents like the American way. We don't get like itemized. We get these like red envelopes.
Oh.
We get red envelopes every Christmas, like weddings and stuff. We always get red envelopes and it depends on like your relation to the person, but you get a certain amount of money in those envelopes. And it's also usually because 3 and 7 are not good numbers in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
so we usually don't put those numbers.
Oh, that's an interesting detail. I know in Japan, there's also certain numbers like I think 4,
Mhm.
4, and go to 7, 4 and 7 that are. Did you say 4 and 7?
No, I said 3 and 7.
3 and 7. Okay, so 4 and 7 in Japan and 3 and 7 in Korea are both considered unlucky for those reasons. I know
Yeah.
in Japan's pronunciation reasons. What in Korea?
I think it's specifically because of the amount of like wars that happened in those types of centuries, and like the leaders, like in like the 7th leader, he was not the best guy, and he started a lot of wars and caused a lot of death. So we try to avoid those numbers because it symbolizes like death and war and stuff like that.
Not fun stories, but fun cultural stuff to know.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I think it's also in China. It's specifically because my friend, she's Vietnamese but also Chinese heritage, and on New Year's she would give me those little red envelopes with some sort of Hanzi character written on it in gold, and it had money inside of it, and it was like Happy Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
I think, is that what you're kind of...
It's very similar to that, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's super interesting. I want to go to Korea someday.
Yes,
Yes.
Seoul, like basically the biggest city. It's the most developed city I know. That's where I actually have a place that I go to sometimes, like every June-ish. I go back there because it's too hot here. It's so hot in Florida.
It is very
It's-
hot.
I cannot stand it. I cannot stand heat. So I go back to Korea, and it's just it's a lot cooler. I haven't been there while it's snowing, but it's supposed to be really beautiful while it's snowing. I wish I could go there, but it's also kind of rainy.
Oh,
It's kind of like here. It rains a lot.
and nobody minds the rain. Well, in my opinion, I just don't mind the rain because in both here and Indonesia, I feel like it's more dry and rainy season than it is 4 seasons. We don't really have snow in either place. It would be nice to see snow.
Egypt is 1 season.
Egypt is 1 season?
I mean, technically there's 4, but there's no difference. They're all just hot. There's
Alright.
there's
Alright.
no difference, no change. It goes from summer heat to winter heat to spring heat back to summer. So
It's like
And
Arabian Desert classic.
I remember I went back last summer.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for about a month, half a month. Didn't rain once. Not a single ounce of rain.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was maybe like 5 days I'd say where we spent by the beach where it should be raining.
Mm-hmm.
Not an ounce of rain.
Ooh.
Very, very dry.
So I assume then you guys depend very heavily on rivers and
Yeah.
different aqueduct
Yeah.
coming in.
Yeah. A lot of actually something that we have in Egypt that they don't really have, or that we have in Florida that they don't have in Egypt, is that if you go to your fridge, there's like usually a water dispenser, an ice cube dispenser. In Egypt, you guys know how like they have like the big gallon things of water that you screw into the top of like a water dispenser, and you take a cup and then like you click the cold water and then it dispenses out cold water. That's what they have in Egypt. We don't have the water dispenser like they have here, because water isn't like connected in the ground like that is. That we don't have like running pipes like that. Of course we do for like the bathroom, but not for like running water to drink.
You guys have specific collected water that you save up and then you...
Kind of, I think. I didn't really look into it too much. I was just like, oh, I'm thirsty. Let me go get some water.
Oh. Even minuscule details like that are
Yeah.
really cool to know
Yeah.
about different places, because you never realize how everything plays together and makes everybody so different until you really hear from somebody else or
Yeah.
you see it yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess on that note, You guys shared a little bit of what it's like in those different countries. What do you guys plan to do for the holidays this year, and how do you think it'll be unique to yourself or different from others?
So for Christmas, a lot of people in Egypt is a mainly Muslim country,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a denomination of Christianity
Mm-hmm.
that is in Egypt. It's Coptic Orthodox.
Oh.
So the Coptic Orthodox calendar, they have their own calendar, and then we also go by, December 25th, Christmas, but then we also have another Christmas on January 7th. So we celebrate both. So one of them is celebrated, the January 7th one is celebrated with the church, and the other one is the one where we give gifts, celebrate together as a family, that kind of thing.
Wow. I didn't even know that was that specific denomination of Christianity existed until you just spoke up about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually really interesting because, I don't hear much about, the different types of Orthodox Christianities until, say, in world history when they teach you about the Byzantine Empire with,
Yep.
Byzantine Orthodox, Roman, Russian, and there's a bunch of other ones.
You're so right about that, because I feel like we do learn about world history in class and in school
Yeah.
as normal high school and AP students and whatever else you want to talk about. But it's really different when you get to experience the culture for yourself and when you compare it to how you've been growing up.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
In my family, my grandfather is Buddhist and my grandmother is Christian. So our traditions are a little bit skewed from normal traditions. We cook a lot, but not really what
Food.
yeah, but we not really cook what American people usually eat.
Mm-hmm.
So no turkey, no ham, no mashed potatoes. We usually have a lot of food that's wrapped in pastry paper. So wontons, spring rolls, egg rolls. We have a lot of foods like that. We have crab rangoons. What else?
I'm hungry.
He's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, me too after hearing that.
Yeah, we cook a lot of fried foods, but we also cook a lot of greens, I guess, and noodles. We have a lot of noodles. Every year we make a big giant pot of noodles, and I love that so much. And also because I have a split family, I celebrate half of Christmas Eve in my grandmother's house and Christmas Day at my cousin's house. So it's kind of split. They're completely Christian, and so it's a very different experience, yeah, from each other growing up.
Wow. I love when you said that split experience. I can relate so much because my father was raised Christian, but my mother was raised Muslim. So I guess you can say I live in the modern Crusades house minus the Crusades because it's peaceful.
Yeah.
But in Christianity, they obviously celebrate Christmas, but Muslims do not celebrate Christmas. They celebrate Eid on a different time of year every year because of the lunar calendar. There have been some instances where it's matched up with Christmas and there was a special day where Christmas and Eid were on the same day.
Yeah.
But because my mom grew up in Indonesia, they're very tolerant of different religions over there. So in Bali, there's literally a place outside the hotel where you can see there's a church right here, there's a mosque right here, and there's a Buddhist temple. And they all do their different prayers at different times of the day, but they respect each other. And I feel like that's just something that in America we could learn a little bit from, maybe, is that religious tolerance and the understanding of diversity. Because my mom tells me stories all the time about how when she grew up, she would help out with preparing for Christmas with Christians, and even Muslims were excited about Christmas, and then it would be an exchange. The Christian would help with Eid, and then it was just nice and peaceful, and they would share food. I feel like that's just something that we could integrate here a little bit more into our culture.
The toleration in America of different religions is very low compared to other places. In Korea, nobody really cares what religion you are. They just see you as a person that
Yeah.
believes in something or doesn't believe in something, as like atheist. If you believe in something, then it gives you hope, and if you don't, then you go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree.
And you completely agree, yes.
I completely agree.
And well, I thank you guys for joining me today for this Hawks International Connections Club podcast. We definitely brought in the vibes of positivity and celebrating diversity and uniqueness today. So appreciate your time and happy holidays to everyone. No matter what you celebrate, what language you speak, happy holidays. Yes.